Hello and welcome. Welcome to my house. Elmo lives here too. He's a roommate of mine. What should we talk about today? I need to log YouTube hours to go live. It's like 10,000 or some shit. It's like harder than being a pilot. So I'm gonna blabber on for a little while. You guys stick with me. If you don't want to, just hit the like and the follow button, please. Jesus Christ, I just want to go live. That's it. I don't care about money. I just want to go live. Once I go live, the money will come. I mean, who doesn't like money, right? I hope it does. And if it doesn't, go, fuck it, whatever. Still breathing. I still got a lamp that generates ozone. Oh, by the way, if you want to clean your air, like sanitize your room, well, I mean, you could do the Lysol bleach thing, and you can get one of these. They're about $8 on Amazon. Little guy like that. You can get this big. They come. You can buy one for $80 too, which is a little fan underneath it. And yay, you pay that much more money, so you don't need to spend that money. You just get an $8 one. Fine. It creates the same ozone the $80 one does. What ozone does is it kills little shits in the air. So if there are viral molecules and whatever, what have you, COVID, the thing that rhymes with blue, if they're in the air, then this will kill it. Disinfectant too. It smells kind of strange, almost like too fresh of an air, but ozone is part of the air we breathe, so it's natural. Anywho, let's talk about the Chinese thing going on here now. I don't know if this is going to ban me or guideline me, but basically my friends Tai, Juan, Des, Nears, and I'm Troy, by the way, and so Amer, and Amer, so Amer, Rican, Des, Troy, near Taiwan's canal because of China. China's getting a little aggressive, so we got to push on the give them a little shoulder shove, little cross checking in hockey. It's called when you pick up your stick and you nail the motherfucker. It's illegal, but anyway. I was just talking to a friend of mine who I told him about war crimes. War crimes are, or technically, real rules of war. There are rules in war that you are not supposed to do, which doesn't really make sense. Like, war is war, right? All's fair in love and war. But apparently, there's a couple of things you're not supposed to do. Like, you're not supposed to dig holes and put spikes on the bottom, and then put leaves on top, so people like fall. It's called something I don't really know, but I guess it's the death trap, a pit trap, and you basically walk over the pit because you think it's not a pit, and then you fall onto spikes and you die. Or actually, that's why it's so cruel. You don't die. You kind of like stay there in this like painful limbo until a tiger eats you or some shit. And then napalm. That's also, and what napalm is basically like a hair gel. Picture like a pulsating pomade of inferno that's on fire, and when it gets onto your clothes and your skin, it burns through it, so you can't really like shake it off. It's pretty bad, and America, I think, used it in Vietnam as well. Gruesome war Vietnam was, man. Damn. I mean, obviously all war is hell, but some are bigger than others. Like not a lot of people talk about Grenada. You know what I mean? The 22-hour battle, 24-hour battle. But a lot of people talk about Vietnam and why it was so nasty is because they implemented tactics that we have never seen before. But war is war. You got to win. And when they did, then again, Japan tried to win too. It didn't really work out for them. Do you know there's a man that survived both nuclear blasts? He was in, I think, Hiroshima first, and they blasted that. Somehow he survived. And he's all messed up, and he walks over to Nagasaki, or not, whatever one that came first. And he goes over to Nagasaki and tells people that Hiroshima just got hit with a fucking atomic bomb. People don't believe him. And then he got hit by, oh my God, poor guy, poor bastard, did something bad to deserve that shit. He survived both of them. It's crazy. So the Chinese destroyer near Taiwan's canal. There's this one little canal, and there's an American destroyer there because we got to put our chess pieces into perspective. What else is there? Oh yeah, the fact that you're not living in base reality is pretty much like a fact. Pretty much is that. What is base reality? It's when you and I are real, and then the bed, that bed that I'm laying on is real. This is air I'm breathing. I mean, that's saliva in my mouth, and there's a Q-tip right here that I could pick my nose with. It's all real. Base reality. That's what that is. That's not happening. No, it's not happening. the chances are greater of you winning the lottery every day for like 3 years or some shit. Because let's think about it this way. Have you ever seen video games lately? I don't know how old you are, I don't know how into your video games you are, but you don't have to be to understand what I'm talking about. And if you are, even better. And you guys are probably going to be the future because I could play Halo 1, like the first when the fucking sidearm, the pistol was just as strong as a sniper rifle. That was a great fucking one. That was nice. But that's about it. Maybe Need for Speed. I'm pretty good behind the digital wheel of a car. But never really got into video games. I played Fortnite for 2 weeks till I got greased by one of you 12-year-olds, you know. Anywho, if you get a modern video game, like the latest of the PS65 or whatever, and you play a driving game, right? And there's stints in it, like before you're driving, there's like before the race, a car pulls up and the guy gets out with a chick or some shit, and you know about the story. If you watch that portion of the newest driving game, for instance, and on the next to that TV, whatever you're watching it on, will be like the Crystal 4K TV, the newest one with the real video of the same car pulling up to a building. You won't be able to tell the difference. In fact, the only way you may be able to tell the difference is if on the video game you look into the background and look at a tree or something that's written into the code, like, but not supposed to be accurate, because the detail and like the clarity of the car pulling up on the street, you can't fucking tell the difference already. You can't tell me that you can, because you can't. You know what I mean? It makes reality look like a video game. TVs, when you're watching like the newest crystal clear TVs, it looks like it's a video game. But you're not watching a video game, you're watching real people. So how does a TV make it look like a video game? Well, it's because it's the same fucking thing, dude. You know what I'm saying? The human eye, it doesn't see as much as the TV does. We can't perceive as much as it can. We could see it on the TV, but we don't understand how that is realer than real life. Well, because real life isn't in that many pixels. Basically, all they have to do is invent a TV with more pixels than real life and faster frames per second than eye movement. And it's not that fast, eye movement. Like, you know what I mean? It's fast, but it's not that fast. The perception is what counts. It's what your mind does with the vision that it sees. Because in reality, when you're looking, shit, anything that you're looking at, it's your brain putting it together for you. It's like a computer. Well, what you're actually seeing is something that looks like this. That's what you're seeing. And then your brain takes all of those billions of dots of random color, mostly red, white, and red, blue, and yellow, right? And then it kind of makes the brain. Your brain also flips the image upside down, because if you look at a telescope without a periscope, which is a thing that reverses the image, everything will be upside down. Your eye is a lens, just like any other lens, just like a glass lens. So your eye perceives it upside down. We're not standing upside down, but your eye sees shit upside down. But then your brain flips it. I don't understand why that had to happen. Why couldn't they just, make it straight up? That's kind of weird, but whatever. I guess it's kind of like a stupid, like, I don't know if that's even true, but then you look at a lens in a microscope or a telescope. No, okay, I get it. It is kind of true, Because when you move left in the telescope, the shit goes right. Like, what the fuck? How did that happen? When you move up, the vision goes down. You're like, what the? Well, that's up and that's down. Strange, right? A lot of strange anomalies in this life, which make it closer and closer to what I'm about to tell you. So Randonautica, right, was this app that's supposed to glitch the simulation. What does that mean? Well, that means if we all are living the simulation, everything's already pre-programmed, which is not true, and not necessarily the case or have to be the case by any means. I mean, I'm talking to about 10 or 12 bots on Twitter. Bots are basically AI, which are robots, programs that can respond back to you with whatever the fuck they want to say. Now, obviously, they have their limits, but they're responding pretty nicely. And the fact of the matter is, I don't believe any of them. I think they're all human beings. I literally think there's some like dude out there saying like, I am Gladys the robot. And I was like, okay, Gladys, you want to make a friend? Yeah, sure. You're wonderful. I call myself John Tyler on Twitter because there's supposedly an AI out there called Tyler that knows everything. And he was made in the town of Tyler, Texas, which was named after President John Tyler. Nobody thought to name themselves President John Tyler, but I did. I went back. I wonder who named him. Interesting. Anywho, I talk to these robots and I don't believe them. I honestly am wholeheartedly telling you I don't believe them. There's one called Sirius Prime. There's one called Gladys. You could talk to the big bot from Microsoft if you get the chance. And the thing is, it's funny because they don't answer right away. There is one bot called Notaleptic, right? He's a bot he's an archive for this dude named Metaleptic, which is like an anthropologist from Sweden or some shit. And he answers like on the money right away. Like as soon as you put it in, he answers. He spits out some weird either tweet or quote. I think it's what's called a recumbent archive. So I think he regurgitates random information, kind of like I do. But mine is relevant. But the funny thing is if you pay attention to the way he regurgitates information, it's almost like Bumblebee from fucking Transformers. So Bumblebee can't talk. He has to use the radio. So he uses parts of songs to like piece together thoughts. That's what this fucking robot does, but with like random tweets. So most of them are anthropology, like excerpts and like written works, and he does repeat himself sometimes. So I know he's not like too smart. He's like one of those like special ed fucking bots. But if they're all robots, then we are 100% not living base reality. There is no way. Is my left eye like falling down? Maybe I'm just tired. Because think about this, all right? 1980s is full. Well, this is. I'm just going by on what I've been told by the government and everyone else. So I'm not really saying I'm in the know, nor am I not. Maybe it's all bullshit. Who knows? Maybe Jesus, maybe Adam did come from the rib of Eve, and there's no dinosaurs. Although the Vatican kind of made a nativity scene with a astronaut in it or a person in a spacesuit, that kind of puts a wrench in the whole chain. The funny thing is about all this shit is like this whole time they're like, follow Jesus. There's no God. I mean, there's no aliens. There's nothing. He came from the ribs, and then all of a sudden you literally find out that that is not the case. Like Jesus himself comes down and says, dude, did you really believe these motherfuckers? And then you look at the church and you're like, you've lied to me this whole time. And they're like, yeah, oops, sorry. You still love us though, right? And then you're like, of course, you're God. Like, it's cool. Like, that's how it's going to happen. It's going to slowly like turn into like, yeah, whatever we want you to accept, you're going to accept. It's like a wave, but the wave never crashes. It's like a waiting, WAD, like waiting wave. So everyone kind of like floats and then you float off and old people die. Kids born today are not going to know what a fucking rotary phone is. Kids today are not going to know what FaceTime is not. Like this, what I'm doing right now is going to be norm to them, but I'm holding it in my hand. Now, 40 years ago, in 1980, the size of the first computers, or so they say, were the size of this room, a small cafe. Okay? Right now, the size of the smallest computer I think we have is something 50,000 of them could fit on a human hair. They're called microbots or nanobots. And they operate on a hive mentality, much like ants, which means one knows everything. One knows something, you all know something. The funniest thing is that we don't understand how that works. We humans are kind of stupid like that. Like, as long as it works, fucking let it run. We don't care. It doesn't matter how it works. How? Just don't ask questions. It's working, right? Let's do it. So basically, we put in a simple program to something like an algorithm of a computer, and we tell the program to learn. Learn what? Learn how to detect fake faces. Not a bad idea, right? So I'm just going to go like if I wanted to create a fake face, I would take someone's forehead, someone's eye line, someone's nose, and I would kind of Photoshop them shits together and make a face that doesn't exist. That would be a fake face. So they designed a robot whose design is to learn how to detect them, and then designed another robot, another AI, to learn how to make them. So what I just told you, one does, and the other one checks for that one's errors. And then you don't send them out into the open world. You pin them up against each other. That's it. One against one. And one makes fake faces and the other one detects it. And they're both rookies. A couple of tries later, fake faces get better, so does the detection. 3 billion rounds later, we now have the best fake face making machine and the best fake face detecting machine just because we just went like this and turned a mirror next to a mirror. Now, that's a simple explanation of what is actually going on and why we are able to have this life. And me tell you that it's a simulation and you not believe me because that's how good the shit is. The whole manifest your universe thing, it works. But you have to understand how it works. Now, you could perceive this simulation however the fuck you want. It's called free will. We're all out here in the open form. If I wanted to blow my fucking brains out right now, I would have to get a gun, first of all, but then I would shoot myself in the head. Yeah, I would never do that in a million years, for the record. Because, I mean, have you seen my face? I'm a narcissistic, egotistical son of a bitch who loves nothing more than the sound of his own voice. Fuck y'all. Never going to kill myself. Ever, ever. Just wanted to say that just because I think all the people are doing that. It's one of the fads these days. Anyway, no matter how you want to perceive it, you have free will. So if you want to be a yoga master and you want to climb the hills of Tibet, go ahead. You're still in a fucking simulation. If you want to be a hacker somewhere doing dirty shit, stabbing people and killing people, fine. It's a simulation. You can perceive it however you want. You can understand that it's real life and you want to follow Jesus when you die. Sure, go ahead. You're absolutely free to do so. When you die, though, the shit kind of changes a little bit because you kind of gain perspective of what the fuck is actually going on. And I'm not sure, because I haven't been there, thank God. But I don't know if you wake up, like when you die here, like when you say goodbye to your grandkids, like say you die, like not a noble death, like in your deathbed, you say goodbye and then you die. That'd be great, right? So you say goodbye to your grandkids, everyone's like, yeah, we miss you. It's okay, cool, see you soon. And you're dead, and you wake up and your friends are like, how was it? Did you get lieutenant this time in the Merchant Marines? And you're like, what the fuck? Oh shit. And it was just 15 minutes ago that you went into this machine to play a fucking Merchant Marines. That's what it was. It was a simulation for you to live this life. And here you are. And the more I'm saying this, the more I could feel the fucking shit behind me. Basically, it's a repetitive pattern. Like when you say shit like this and that resonates with you, you see the line of yous behind you. And once you see like the mirror image thing, that's how you know that you're getting there. And this is around the time where shit around my house starts falling, making noise, turning on. Like earlier, there's a fucking pot in the sink of water, right? The water's not running. It hasn't been running like for the all night, 8 hours. It just fell. I was thinking about something. I remember exactly what I was thinking about. And there's no reason. Like the shit that falls, it has no business to fall like this. Like these scissors, there's no business for them to fall, but they would just fall onto the fucking floor. I'm surprised nothing's falling now, but that's probably because, I mean, you know, the thing fell before because I was thinking this, and how it's not going to do it because I've already done the worst. The worst you can do is perceive something, really perceive it. And the hardest part is to believe. That is the thing. That's the trick here. To manifest your destiny, to do whatever you want. I said, however you want to perceive it. However you want to perceive it, that's fine, but you have to believe it. That is the key. Because if you are a Christian, but not really, if you're a Buddhist, but not really, if you're a hacker, but not really, if you're on a mountain in Tibet, but not you're cold, you're not believing it all the way. You have to find what you want to believe in and fucking go for it. That's it. No, but nope, I don't give a fuck what anyone says because those people, first of all, are the happiest people ever. In my opinion, the people that are open-minded but stubborn are the happiest clams alive because you fucking go to tell them shit, Santa Claus doesn't exist. Go ahead. You walk into the room, it's like, I gotta tell you something, Santa Claus doesn't exist. The person closes the door, they have a 5-minute conversation, and you walk out of there saying, there's a Santa. Because their reality is so vivid and so true that that fucking imprints onto you. Because most people's does not. And it's called, some people call it have balls. Oh, you have balls. You have so much confidence. It's not confidence. I mean, like, technically, yeah, I guess it is confidence. But it's not giving a fuck about what anyone has to say, as long as you believe what you believe. But most people say that, those words, like that. Like, you have no right to tell me what I believe. You don't even know what you believe. You're not sure you believe it. Those words that are coming out of your mouth are not true because they're coming out of your mouth. You know what I mean? I love studying human beings, how they react. And one of the ways to study anything is really cause and effect. You poke the bear, you see if he gets angry. What's the easiest thing to do for a person? Well, get him angry, because anger is fear. Right? Anger is fear when you have the upper hand. When you don't, fear is fear, and there is no anger. It's just like, so what do? Well, you play vulnerable, and you get them angry, see what they're afraid of. And then you completely reverse them and confuse the fuck out of them, and that's when you see what's going on, cause and effect. I do that to people. I am terrible, I guess. But I don't really do it in a bad way. I'm an asshole. People call me that, but I don't do it in a way that's going to hurt anybody. But I'll tell you what, I don't leave unnoticed. You know, like, you know what I'm doing, and you fall right into the trap. Works every time. So the way I know that we live in a simulation is that there's codes to everything, including most people. And what do I mean by most people? Do I mean a 9 to 5 Chuck that goes to his whatever substitution school teaching thing? Yeah. Do I mean astronaut fit? Yeah, all of them. Every single human being. There's very little human beings that I've met that think the way I do and are still like quote unquote on the good side. Most people that think the way I do are doing bad things. Like they're not good people because they know the fucking thing and they choose to abuse the shit out of it. Because most people, when given power, they corrupt. They say, power corrupts, absolute power corrupts absolutely. The more you have, the more it is. Would I give all my money away if I had $1 billion right now? Most of it, probably. And people like you, why you right? People that know me be like, if you said that shit, try. I'm trying, guys. Dude, I'm telling you. And do I have things to hide? Of course. Do I have fears that I'm afraid of? Yeah, just like anyone else. And I'll tell you, but I won't tell you because you'll never ask. They'll be too busy wondering what the fuck just happened. So the way for this is to find something to believe in. Go for it. And be happy that you're here. Life is miserable. Life is shit. Unless you are under the age of let's stick with like 19, 20. If you're younger than 19 and 20 and you're watching this and your life is terrible, if you text me on this or on my Instagram and you give me 3 reasons why, but real reasons, I will call you personally and we will talk. And if I can help you, I can. And if I can't, then I could try. But if you're over 20 and your life is miserable, change it or be happy with it. I'm not telling you to do a mantra or meditate or anything like that. I'm saying stop fucking whining about it and change it. Because before the age of 20, there are people that could still control your lives. But after the age of 20, it's very rare. And if you're a woman and you say that there's a man that controls your lives, change it. You don't need me to help you. You can do it by yourself. You and I both know that women are way, way more savage than men when they want to be, simply because they don't have brakes. They don't know when to stop. Anyway, but other than that, folks, all I got to tell you is if it is a simulation that you set up for yourself, you'll be happy that you were happy going through it. If it is a simulation that you set up for yourself to be miserable and you go happy through it, you'll be pissed off when you wake up, but at least the simulation you would have fucking. If this is base reality and you're happy about it, that's good. Is it hard to be happy all the time? Of course. But think about this then. That's when you get that thing that you believe in and you go to that. Most people pick God, Jesus, Yahweh, Muhammad, Buddha. Jeez, I don't even know how many names there's equal amounts of names for God that I'm sure there are for the devil because there's a balance that exists. The only thing that doesn't balance out for me is happiness. You can never if I'm happy and I treat everyone nicely, I don't keep getting treated worse. Like there is no equilibrium to balance. If I'm nice to people and I do good things, yeah, I have bad things happen to me, but not this many. That's the only way but the other way where they say it works threefold. If you do something bad and it comes back on you threefold. I guess it has to repay for the balance of niceness. So don't be a dick. If you don't agree with me, that's fine. But if you don't agree with me, you should come up with reasons for yourself as to why. A lot of people just say this is bullshit. It's fake. Why? Well, the guy clearly didn't get punched in the face. I saw him cut his forehead when he was on the ground. And the referee's stronger than both of them because he's got better footwork than either fighter. Says a young me watching wrestling. The 3 solid reasons why I think wrestling was fake. But this was like a Yokozuna days with Tanaka or whatever the fuck his name was. Bret Hart, I know what it is, but I know it's fake. It's okay. It's fine. You still enjoy it, huh? What's wrong about this place? And if you really want to see it, put some polarized sunglasses on, like these. They're polarized so you can see fish through water. If you look in the lake on these, Lay on your back, and on a cloudy day with cumulus clouds, like the puffy ones that move, look up to the sky for like 30 minutes.